Hello, guys. Welcome to our third episode for Formula for FMCG, presented to you by Foodgenics. I am Sumantra Mandal, one of the co-founders of Foodgenics. Today, we have with us one of our eminent personalities, both from academic and now in industrial circuit, Miss Taniya Jha. Taniya Di, a very hearty welcome to you from the entire Foodgenics team. Hope with your knowledge and your wise words, our viewers will definitely enlighten from this session. Talking about briefly about Miss Taniya Jha, she has done her BTech from Haldia Institute of Technology in Food Engineering and Technology and pursued her masters from the one of the eminent and prestigious institutes in the country, ICT Mumbai, in the same domain of engineering and technology. Apart from her academic accolades, she has also been part of many industrial trainings and internship programs from food giants like Mondelez and ITC. Uh, Apart from this, also she is a very enlightened student and has accomplished many awards and accolades during her academics. So, with this, I welcome Miss Taniya Jha and share the podium with her to discuss about the journey she had and how other future food technologists in the future can definitely follow your path. Tanya Di, welcome. Please share your journey with us and talk a little bit about your work-life balance and how things are going at all. Let's start from this.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Shumantro, for this amazing warm welcome and a lot that you have said about me. It's actually it feels great to connect to you all. And regarding my work-life balance and what is going on with me, currently I'm in a transition phase. I have worked with Nestle for 1 year as a technical leadership trainee, and now after 1 year, I'll be getting a new role. So work life, I will. Before this, there was something else, and after this, I don't know what is coming up for me. So I was working in manufacturing as a production officer in Bicholim, Goa. There we produce sauces and Maggi noodles. You know how it is. So work life was pretty amazing. Goa is beautiful, and yes, Nestle has a lot to offer, and you every day you get new challenges. Every moment there is firefighting going on in the plant, so it has been quite challenging and a very big learning experience for me. So that's it. And from personal front, I have visited a lot of places in Goa, ate a lot of cuisine, and it's amazing to be in Goa. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone aspires to be in Goa for holidays and all, and you have been in Goa. So yeah,
Yes, I lived in Goa. I can tell you where to go, what to eat. So
yeah,
yeah, anybody wants consultation, I am there.
best place to work, literally in India.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Okay, and very hearty congratulations to you as you have been given the role in R&D sector. So
Yes,
yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah.
So as you have spent a year in production and other outputs, so can you tell me, being from a master's background in food technology, so what basically is the role of food technologist in a production plant or a manufacturing unit? In specifically now you are working
Yeah.
in Nestle.
Yes, Shumantra, very good question. So first and foremost thing that a person needs to work in a production area is the ability to interact. So you have to be very interactive. Next is you have to be, in top of everything. You have to have all the information here. And whatever you have learned in your academics, you need to apply, but then you need to find a way how to apply it. So you need to first unlearn all the things that you have learned in academics. Then you learn how it is in the production domain or the in the environment. Every factory is different, every company is different. You have to unlearn what you have learned and then learn whatever is there, whatever the company has to offer. Then you need to collaborate what you have learned in your academics, then what you have learned in your factory. So you need to collaborate the both. then you apply. If you come with an opinion, or if you come with अरे मैंने तो ये पढ़ा था, यहाँ पे तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, then you might set a limitation for yourself. So first you need to keep everything aside, whatever you have learned till now, whatever you have opinions till now, you have to keep everything aside and you have to give yourself to it. So you have to stop forming opinions about technical as well as behavioral things or the soft skills that we talk about. You need to be inquisitive, curious, and you have to ask. You might There are few people, they ऐसे सोचते हैं कि अरे I might disturb that person. No, that person might be busy, I should not ask him. Or that person, like students are very hesitant these days. Then few of them say अरे मैं उससे क्यों पूछूं, whoa, that I know better than him. So these things you have to keep aside because you are new. You don't know anything about the factory or the company wherever you are going. So you need to keep everything aside and keep asking questions till you are not satisfied with the answers, till you are not able to solve things by your own. So you have to keep going and keep going without thinking it. Then you collaborate whatever you have learned, whatever technical things you have learned, you apply those things. You improve the things that are already there. Improvements in a factory or manufacturing is very important. It's a continuous improvement, right? And you have to be authentic. You have to be whatever you are, inside, out. Everything should be, there shouldn't be difference between the both. So these are the things that are required for any person who wants to work in manufacturing, because that's real thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. A very important message to all the viewers from Taniya is keep unlearning things, whichever you have learned. So that is very important. So, as proceeding to the next question of mine is, so as people who are in production unit and manufacturing unit, they generally face the issue of work-life balance. Like shifts are there, multiple shifts are there. So can you just enumerate your experience of how you coped up with it, and what are the perks of working in production actually? As doing people after doing their masters, they generally aspire for R&D and other positions. So you being in a production unit, how did you manage your work-life balance, as well as what are the perks you got, or what are the advantages of working there? Can you kindly tell?
Okay, so first I'll go with the perks. Perks is if I am working in a production unit, I'm the boss, and I decide what's happening in my plant, and I decide, things for what are to be done. Then when you have power, you have responsibilities. So I am also accountable for it. Anything happens, anything incident that's happening for in my plant, then I'm also responsible for it. So this you have to find a balance through it, but then it's a very good perk and a very challenging, and it's good that I have experienced this in my early life so that I am prepared for my upcoming ventures, that I am ready for all the responsibilities, because in production things are real, like it's happening right now. In R&D, if you see, you are working on a project that may come up 6 months later. If in quality, it's you can say that you're analyzing a thing, and then you are getting the reports. It may take 2 to 3 or 4 days to generate a report, but in production, you plan it today, things is happening tomorrow. So that way, the spontaneity is the perk, the challenges is the perk, and then how you handle things, the firefighting thing, it's a perk. I consider it as a perk. Then coming to the work life balance, see, initially it will be difficult if you are coming in morning shift. So in morning shift, I come by 7:30, and by 7 I have to leave because there's a compliance. But otherwise, in morning, people generally in production, we have a lot of work. So we tend to stay back. Tend to stay back a little longer. But then, if you are done with your thing, if there is nothing much going on, you can leave at your shift end. At by 8 hours, you complete your shift, you do your reporting thing, then you go back home, and then you can roam around, explore places. So that way, you have to find your own balance between. You have to be super efficient to find the balance. Like if you are a bit slower than the others, then you will take more time to make a simple maybe report initially. But then when you are good at it, when you start getting things, then it's quite easy to balance your work and life. So yeah, that's it for this question from my side.
Okay, it was a very nice explanation and a very refreshing one coming from a pretty efficient and modular student like you. So definitely our viewers will get benefited from this. There are many hefty questions I've asked in between. Let's take this on a lighter note. So what is your breakthrough thing? Like work life can become monotonous as I have been also associated with the industry, and also I know that work life can become monotonous. So what is your breakthrough thing for all this? Like you had a really bad day or a really busy day. What do you do after that?
I love to listen to songs. I love to sing. Then I do talk to my family since I am, pretty far away from them. Family, friends. I have a lot of friends because I am from a defense background, so I have friends everywhere. So someday if I'm on a bad mood, I'll just ring some friends in somewhere of the country and I just talk to that person. That's a breakthrough. Then obviously you love to rant. Ranting is something which is that people won't say it, huh? But then it's common. Like इसने ये कर दिया आज ये तो बड़ा ही खराब हो गया. So I rant with my favorite colleague. So that is something, it went out. Then you are ready for the next day. So yeah, people will say, I watch movies, I eat ice creams and all, but ranting is the best thing to vent things out. Huh? Then we have parties with in COVID scenario, yeah, a bit less, but then we have parties with in weekends ki bada hi वैसा week रहा है इस बार. So we go out for dinners or we have house parties. Yeah.
Okay. So a very important message for you guys. Do break through this monotonous schedule. It is very important. Otherwise, work life will definitely become toxic for you guys. As Tanyadi has clearly mentioned that this is very important for you guys. Okay, so talking about a different perspective or a more general trend in India is that in production roles, when the job opportunities open up, companies generally prefer male candidates as compared to female ones. So you being in one of the archive or one of the imperial companies of the country, okay, you have worked in their production output. Did you face any gender discrimination or any bias or anything different apart based on your gender? Anything related to it?
No, no, Shivantu. I am so proud and I am so glad that I am in a company like, Nestle, that I have never been considered, that she is different, or even I have been very lucky to have my bosses who, like, under whom I have been coached. So they never differentiated. I was the only girl in one production team. I was the only girl. Okay, in the other phase, like we have divided into two phases. So I was in my team, I was the only girl. I was never being differentiated, never ever. So, but being a girl, you do face challenges. I am glad that you put up this question. That production, but I don't think Nestle, it discriminates. It is very much glad. Now we are also opening up another factory which is like 50% girls,
Oh,
50% women.
very good.
Even the operators are women. So we as a company, I feel that it's the best thing to work in Nestle for a woman, because first of all, there is no man or woman in Nestle. We are all employees, and we for women, since we have physical and mental, a bit of biological differences, so we are given a bit perks, you can say. So like for maternity leaves, we even have paternity leave, but maternity leaves are longer than paternity leaves. So there are many things that you have being a woman as well as a man in Nestle. But I would suggest that other women who will be listening to this, that if you wanna work in a production unit, any production unit, you have to go above your limitation. You have to, someday you might not be feeling well, so you can take a off. Aram se you can come back the other day, but you don't stop yourself from doing what you want to do. So you have to be physically very active. You have to be on your toes. You might not be feeling well, and but you have to work. But then you don't stop yourself from doing that just because you're not well or you're not feeling okay that day. You might not be mentally okay. So that's my message to all the women. You can choose to work in, a bit more comfortable area like quality or R&D, but then production experience you will never get. If you're getting, just go grab it and experience it. So don't stop yourself just because you are a woman and you cannot do. Go for it and be and learn from as much as you can.
Oh, it's a very precise and nice explanation from Taniya Di, and all the girls or anyone watching out there, they should take a lesson about all this. Very well explained. Thank you, Di. Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to ask you, like as you have earlier mentioned, that there are many crisis situations in production plants, and you being one of the decision makers. So suppose if a crisis has happened, so what is your initial reaction? How do you deal with it? Like obviously you must also sometimes panic, or how do you deal with it? So how does your experience come into account? Can you kindly tell us this in the detailed scenario of how you deal with that current situation if any mishap has happened in your production plants?
See, first of all, I have a I have a thing in me. I personally I have a thing कि सब हो जाएगा, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. So I am that person. My parents are like कि ये तो ऐसी ही है, सब हो जाएगा करती है. But I am that person. सब ठीक हो जाएगा. So first thought, anything happens, first thought is that. Then after that, you have to be quick. Whatever happens, you get a call. Okay, madam, this happened, that happened. Okay, hold on, I'm coming. Then I'll take. It's just that being in the moment, you have to do the right thing. If you don't know, then just reach out. Reach out to the next person you know, or the next person. If required, reach out to the boss. If you're not getting help from anyone, reach out to the boss. Sir, this has this happened. No issues. But you just have to do the right thing. If you don't know what's the right thing, you have to reach out. So everybody is there to help. Nobody will, everybody is there to help. So yeah, that call, when to take the call, when you are, reaching out to someone else, that time has to be, minimum.
Yes.
First of all, you have to analyze कि ये मैं कर सकती हूँ कि नहीं कर सकती हूँ. नहीं कर सकती हूँ, immediately call. So the time lapse between all these decisions is very important. Initially, if you are working in a manufacturing, initially you might not, decide. You might not be able to decide कि अरे is this important? Should I call my boss? You might not be, because you don't know. But then when you learn things which is first priority, which is second priority, then you decide आराम से. Everybody is there to help, and you have to manage with the time. It is all play of time, in production.
Okay. So yeah, so guys, a very important message from this. Whoever is going to start his career in production and other highly high paid roles, please keep this in mind. Okay, and stay positive, as Tanya Di has already told you guys. Yeah, it's a very good quality to have to keep yourself cool when the things are not on your way. Thank you, Di. Thank you for the advice. So now talking about, as I have already mentioned, that you have been part of other FMCG companies like ITC and all. So what difference in work environment or what major difference in your work life did you have till now while working in Nestle and while being associated to other companies which you have interned or been part of?
See, every company has their own policies, and being a woman, I never felt like much difference because everywhere you are treated nicely only. So I think in ITC also my domain was different. In ITC I was in R&D. In Mondelez I was in R&D. Here I'm in manufacturing. So there, yeah, work-life balance I have already told. Like in R&D, you can come back early, but in manufacturing, it's not necessary that you will come back early, or maybe you can choose to come back early. It's all about responsibilities. कि if आग लगी है तो बुझानी है. In manufacturing, it's that. So yeah, but between companies, more or less policies are same. So most of the people abide by that, and you have to abide by all your company policies. So that way, I didn't find much of a difference. Mondelez, MNCs to ITC. ITC is not an MNC. बाकी Mondelez and Nestle are MNCs. MNCs और Indian companies में थोड़ा difference हो जाता है because in MNCs you work with the whole world, but if it's an Indian company, it's all the transaction between the Indian factories and stakeholders. So that way, it's a bit different. Here, it's a bit broader. In ITC, it was a bit, you have you are working with only in the country. So that was different. Otherwise, it's pretty good experience in all the three companies.
Okay. Yeah. So you have been assigned to different roles. So you had a variety of experience as well as
Yes, yes.
working in MNC and Indian companies. So it was an overall a very profound experience for you. So till now we had discussed a lot about what you did in your production role and all. So now the big elephant is how to grab that job. Like first thing is grabbing that job and then performing. Okay. So can you kindly take us through the recruitment process as well as how you prepared for that in detail so that our viewers will be able to understand what the exact scenario is and how to means prepare for these kind of interviews and the recruitment process of Nestle.
Yes, so precisely, we had one group discussion and then we had personal interviews. Okay, and we were informed earlier that this is the role and stuff. So for not only for Nestle, these are common thing for any all company, you know. So what you need to do is prepare your CV, whatever CV you are making, whatever line, whatever word you are writing in your CV, you must know that. Okay, the questions will be from there. And for group discussions is basically they see if you are being able to, lead the group discussion. Lead in the sense, suppose there is, heated up. The group discussion has heated up. You cannot conclude. Are you the person who can join both the parties? Are you the person who can take out the win-win situation from it and conclude the group discussion? You can. There are many people who can initiate. In group discussion, I have seen many people who love to initiate. That okay, good morning and all. So initiators you will find a lot, but there are very less people who conclude on a good note without putting their own opinions. So for GD, you have to conclude taking everyone's opinion that has happened in the group discussion. It can be any topic. You can wait. Suppose you don't know the topic, okay? So you can wait, listen to others, then you might get some idea. You can speak your own opinion. But then you have to conclude it on a good note. Suppose someone else is concluding and he has not taken your opinion, then you take it from there and then you conclude including your opinion. Everybody has to be included and a common, you have to understand what all of them are speaking. It's a group discussion. You have to understand what is their thinking. Okay, you with a mindset that कि ये क्रैक करना है, वैसे नहीं. ग्रुप डिस्कशन अगर आप ऐसे भी किसी ग्रुप में बात कर रहे हो तो आपका एटीट्यूड क्या है? आर यू टेकिंग एवरीवन along with you or are you only thinking about yourself? So these are the things, soft skills that all the companies look for. Even everybody looks for, like, are you good to work with? If I am in a corporate discussion, are you good to have a discussion with? So these are the things that they look for. And in personal interview also, they will only ask from your CV. They might go on a bit in your favorite subjects and all, but mostly whatever you have written, they will ask from that. You have to know your projects, you have to know your internships, you have to know whatever achievements that you have, achieved in your career, and you have to be authentic. Suppose you don't know the answer of a question, you don't bluff. You have to say that okay sir, I don't know, I'll come back, or I'll get back to you with this answer. And if you know, you go with it, but you don't bluff because they know. Okay, even if you get selected, after that you will have multiple of reviews, so they will know. So you have to be authentic, you have to be genuine. Even if you don't know things, you have to be yourself. Whatever you are at your home, you have to be. There should not be two people, कि घर पे कुछ और interview room पे कुछ और. You have to be the way you are. You have to be, ये soft skills थोड़ा ज़्यादा, मतलब you have to take care of your soft skills. Yeah.
Okay. So your personality development and being yourself being a very important part of the interview process. So
Yes.
yeah, so as you are into a very technical role, as you are in the production unit now, you will be working into R&D. So how much of the technical knowledge or technical skills which you have acquired throughout the years, as well as done your B.Tech, M.Tech, gone to industries, done internships there, how much does it matter in the final recruitment process? Like you were competing with a fair amount of competition as you were from ICT, so many contenders were there for the job role. So what made you apart from those? Like yeah, you are academically profound. I agree to that, but there were other contenders. So what separated you from others in grabbing this role?
I feel, a technical aspect is important as well as your soft skills. Like I already, emphasized on the soft skills. So there were people who had better GPAs than me. Like all the contenders in everyone, like I think I don't have a very great GPA, but I have a decent GPA in masters. But others, they had better. So yeah, so academically you have to be decent and good. That's there. Technical aspect, you have to know the answer. Like I said, whatever you have done, you must know it through and through. जो नहीं किया, you might not know it, but जो खुद से किया है, that you should be very clear about it. Like technically sound and clear. And rest 50% of it is soft skill that will take you through. You have to have leadership skills, you have to, you know take the ownership. All these things are very important. Like they must see the potential that if you are they are deciding in a room that if you will be in a plant, you can take the decision or you can do that thing. So yeah, so that thing is very important, that you work on your soft skills and you work on your leadership and personality skills. That 50% of it is mostly people, they don't emphasize on it during their preparation. They are mostly involved in the technical part. But and all these things, it comes from the very beginning. When you are in school, when you are in college, you have to build yourself up, you have to have many experiences, you have to do things. So it is like from the very early stage you are preparing for something big, so that way you can crack it. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so guys, keep these things in mind. These things are coming from a person who has been so much academically profound, as well as she has developed these skills all through. So yeah, so you need both the things. You have to be an all-rounder. So yeah, so a very informative information that you have given me. Another thing, so we will end this with this last question. Okay, so any messages or anything you want to say to the future food technologists out there, like what skills they should pursue, or whatever the things, what difficulties you faced in your journey, that or mistakes that they shouldn't repeat in their journey to be a leader like you.
See, I personally think that uh, there are many things that I would love to say, but I have already emphasized on the soft skills part, okay, that you have to develop, you have to interact, you have to, talk to people, you have to be on your toes, but you have to also, live your life. You have to let yourself free, and you have to be very inquisitive and, curious about things. And academics में one thing that I would love to tell the future food technologists, that what happens in the factory and what happens in academics are very different. So try to, take some time out to see. You have YouTube videos, right? You have many things these days, many resources. Earlier we didn't have, very good Wi-Fi connection. Now we are doing everything virtually. Right now we are having a good conference call, but earlier we had, data packs जिसमें बहुत कम वो होता था. Yeah, so we didn't get the opportunity. We had the time, but we didn't get the opportunity to, take some time out to get a very good YouTube video for basic manufacturing, like bottle filling of Coca-Cola, maybe, or maybe manufacturing of something as simple as a bread. So you have all those videos in YouTube. So just go through it, see what's happening, and see the behind of it. Whatever you are learning, like suppose FSSAI, regulations, everything is applied in a factory. If quality policies, FSSAI regulations, how are they applied? How, machine designing is getting applied, how your ingredients are working in a machine. So take some time out and, go through it a bit, application part of your academics part. In colleges we don't get that opportunity कि मैं उसी चीज को apply कर सकूं. But then now you have the time. It's your time, I think, to delve into, more practical part of your academic knowledge. So that would be my message to all the future food technologists.
Yeah, it was a very informative and a very golden words that you have just told our juniors to believe in practicality and uh, relate the things. It's a very good thing you have told. Yeah, so with this, I think we can end this session of Formula for FMCG. And I would gladly say that it was a very, very, very informative session for all the viewers and especially for me also. I have been enlightened much about the working culture of Nestle, the production units, and all, and learned many new lessons which will definitely help me as well as the viewers in their path for glory. Definitely. Thank you, Dee, for your time.
Thank you, Shumantro. Thank you so much for, giving me this opportunity to, talk to you. I am seeing you all after so many, I think it's been a year or 2 years maybe
Yes,
after
yes.
Corona, so it like we didn't get much time also in college due to this Corona thing. But thank you for this opportunity talking to you, as well as through you I'll be talking to so many other people. So yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
We are glad, Dee, and very congratulatory thank you from the entire Foodgenics team, and hope you inspire the future generations and other budding food technologists in the coming future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.